Well, before I get started today, I just wanted to go over some things about this clay, some of these clay samples that I got from Sculpture Depot. I have two NSPs. That stands for non-sulfur plastiline clay, and Karen at SculptureDepot.net sent me two samples of this non-sulfur plastiline. One's hard and one's medium. This is the hard and this is the medium. I haven't slept all night. I mean, I'm still kind of punchy right now. So it's what time is it? It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. I haven't slept at all, and so I'm a little punchy, and I'm not sure how long I'll be working on this clay, but I got to try to do something today because I'm probably going to sleep the rest of the day, and I'm so screwed up. All right, this wax. Now, I had all these under the same light, a 100-watt bulb, for about, maybe a half hour. And it softened all of them up nicely. The wax, the top part was softened nicely, and I made a little thing here just to see how hard it gets and how easy it was to work. And it's easy to work when it's soft, but boy, it gets hard. I'd say this is almost jeweler quality as far as hardness goes. That would be good for, like, say, strengthening a armature, a wire armature or whatever. You want to block in like hands and things like that. This would be good stuff to do, and then put soft clay over it. This clay here, the non-sulfur plastiline. Now this is the medium here, and let me tell you, that is a hard medium. I don't know what their soft is like. I'd like to try that one sometime, but this medium, when it hardens, I mean when it cools off, it gets really, really hard. Anyway, this is where these tools, these Sculpting tools, would come in handy, because the head of the tool, or the wire end of the tool, is locked in by this set nut here. And I gotta tell you, that makes it very, very good for working with hard clays like this. And you can see that I can literally, after I've shaped it, I can go back in and carve away with this tool rather nicely. And the nice thing about this clay is it doesn't have any rough edges on the sides of the cut, even when it's soft. It has a tendency not to do that. There's a high wax content in the non-sulfur clay. Also, a thing I found out is if you're going to work in this stuff, it will, if it sits out in the air for too long, it will develop a surface on it. Kind of a scaly surface, because when the air gets to it, it sort of deteriorates the exterior over a long period of time. So if you're going to sculpt in this stuff, and you're going to set it up on your shelf, you need to put a plastic bag over it to keep the air from getting to it. This clay was a little bit sticky when it was to my fingers, but it didn't stick to my fingers. Like I said, I left it under the light for about a half hour, and it was plenty soft enough to work with. And the same with this hard clay. You can still work with it. And that's the strength of this head right here, or this wire end, makes it really nice to work with this kind of clay. And you can, once you form it, then you can shape it. So if you want to try some of this clay to see how it works for you, and I would say that this probably is a high temperature clay as far as getting it soft and stuff like that. So if you're in a climate where it gets hot, this might be real good clay to work with. But anyway, get a 2-pound block and see how you like it. And you can, like you saw me do the other day when I did that little bust of the man with a beard, and I'll put a link to it here. It worked out pretty good. So, for 2 pounds. So you can do quite a bit with 2 pounds. All right, well, I'm going to put these aside. This is the NSP clays that you can get online at sculpturedepot.net. Now let's get busy on the clay. Show the leg underneath it by just pressing it down a little bit, and this metal tool makes it nice. Clay does stick to the tool, so what I do is I use a rag just to clean it off, and then I just rub the tool on my nose, and it keeps the clay from sticking to the tool. It's a nice little trick. I took a strip of clay and just cut fringe in the clay, just like you would leather. And now I'm going to put that fringe on the legging, being mindful that I gotta make this so they can cast it and sew. I'm not going to have a lot of loose fringe flying out there. I'm just going to try to arrange it in a way that I can fill in behind it, or it can be castable. Now I think I'm going to cut the fringe off right there. A little too low on the leg. I spend almost as much time backfilling, as I do actually sculpting. I guess the way to look at it is this is where I make my money, is by making it easier on the casting people or the foundry. Alright, I got the legging close to being done. I'm just going to add a few wrinkles to it. With a little added detail. What I'm doing is I'm putting just a little bit of texture in it. There's little grooves in this wire. You can feel it with your finger. One side's smooth, one side's grooved, and it's not a real pronounced texture. It's just there, and I know you can't see it in the camera, or maybe you can, I don't know. But anyway, I'm just putting a little bit of a texture, sculptural texture on it to kind of finish off the surface of the legging. Now I'm going to start working on the horse and try to get as far as I can before I fall asleep at the sculpting. I want to get ready to put the mane of the horse on, but I first want to get these hands done. But I still want to clean up the horse just a little bit. This clay is still malleable. This is a J-Mac. I started this piece 2 years ago, and it's still as soft now and nice to work with as it was back when I first started. So you don't have to worry about this stuff getting in the air and being out in the air because it has no effect on it. Alright, I've gotten the feathers out of storage, and it's time to put this back on the shield. And I'm going to hang it in that direction there. So that's going to be it. My battery's running low on my camera. I can see it flashing, and I better end this before I run out of battery power, and I've got to charge up the camera. I'm running out of battery juice myself. And have a great night. I'm going to be asleep.